Alright, so we're going to look at how I carry my bottom feeder to the pool. This is what I think is easiest. So I do like normal. I would take my pole, net. I don't know how you do your pack in your truck. I know we all have a little bit different. For me, what I do is I take my battery pack. Try not to lift it by the cord. That voids your warranty. But I just hang it off the horn of my caddy. Make sure the cable's in there somewhere. I take my bottom feeder head itself, grab it with one finger, hold on to my bag like that, and then now I can go, with what other chemicals I need. If I need some tabs, I actually put them in my scoop on the horn. But then we'll head towards the pool just like that. Get rid of my net there. Take your battery pack. You want to slip your pole through the rings. Hold it right here with your thumb, cords towards you. This is the flap that connects to the head, so make sure that's pointing down. All right, then we put a pole on your handle just like you would on your regular vacuum. Except for now, this flap comes up over top of this, the twist lock, and then we twist that on like that. Get it perpendicular to there just so it stays on, doesn't come off. And now as soon as we plug in, we're gonna be rolling. So just make sure there's nothing near the propeller, no hands, no fingers, no nothing. And now we're on and we're rolling. And then we can get into phase 2, which is vacuuming. So this one has the thruster ring in, so it's gonna be able to vacuum in super shallow. This really isn't very shallow on the top step for what this will do. I'll give you an idea. Theoretically, this thing will vacuum in almost no water at all. As you can see, we're almost level. The problem you're gonna have is getting the water in the bottom. And then once we're in, we're back up. So, good thing about the bottom feeder too, with the way the wheels are, it's nice for rolling along the side of the stairs. Just keep yourself balanced. Switch around to the other side. Takes you a little bit of practice to get to learn how to fly it, but it's not definitely better. Some guys would rather just drag it sideways along there. It's a little more cumbersome. You can go backwards with it, so it's facing towards. If you would rather, some guys will do this. It's just going to wear out your wheels faster, but replacement wheels don't cost too much. Then as you can see, once we get down into the debris, we've got the flaps on. But even with your flaps on, you're still pretty good at picking up leaves and all that stuff. This pool has a lot of fine debris in it, so once the filter attachment comes out, this would be a good one to actually just have that filter attachment on, because there's not so many leaves that it makes it impossible to vacuum the whole thing into the filter. But for now, you'll see, once you start getting your swaths in, you can do a pretty quick swath compared to some of the other power vacs, because it doesn't pull the stuff in behind it quite as badly. For this one, because there's bigger leaves, you might want to remove a side flap or two, but it's not a must. A lot of guys just like keeping them on. I prefer it on a lot of the time. But what we can do is we'll do an A and B. I'll take the flaps off in a minute just to give you an idea what it's like without the flaps. But once we get that we get our initial edge made, it goes pretty quick. So now we got some bigger rocks, and if you wanted to pick those up, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you do, you want to get rid of your thruster ring if you have bigger debris. Those rocks possibly can lead to a breakage in your propeller, but so you might want to leave the thruster ring just so you can't get them up into there and it'll stop. But if you did want to, as you can see right here, get some footage of those rocks. If you go over them, it will suck them up. It's just it's a little harder on your propeller than you would like, but still hang with them not too bad. So we'll do a little more vacuuming without the thruster ring. We're not vacuuming that shallow, so it's not a big advantage or disadvantage of having it. Oh, That's a very big rock over there. I don't think I want to pick that up. You know, my kids seem to have been throwing some rocks in the pool just for fun. So I'm going to leave that one. Even though I get the propellers for cheap. Oh, I can't say that. But it's a little bit too sacrificial. So we're going. You might want to, if you can, depending on your pole, you can really just go right to the other side with this. I was just leaving this corner out, but because the head's so easy to use, it's easy to get your turn on the very end, even at the full extent of your thing. It seems I'm gonna probably just pick up that rock anyways to see what happens. And it went in. It's just a little dangerous with these propellers because they're spinning so fast. And if yours happens to have a little weak spot in, you know, from the mold or something, a lot of times you'll be just fine, but you know, anything over a ½ inch diameter you really don't want to pick up until I come up with some amazing material that doesn't break, which I am still working on. We will, I would recommend not picking those up with your bottom feeder. Alright, so now we're vacuuming. It's I have a little less thrust because of we took that thruster ring out, and when you have all your drop sides on, it restricts the water flow a little bit into the cleaner, so it can be a little. It might not have quite as much suction as it would if you left the thruster ring in, but you can pick up a bit bigger debris. You know, this leaves and stuff is not really a problem. And then what you can do too, if you want to sort of equalize that a bit, what we'll do is we'll pull it up and we'll pull off a couple of the side flaps and see what happens. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off I will take off our front flaps, you know, which will maybe make for a cleaner cutting edge. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop off our flaps in the front, pick them up after we're done, and we're just going to leave it like that. That way, you know, we're getting lots of water to the propeller. But let's see if it keeps us a nice clean edge on the side still. You know, so we're going to have a lot of front edge, but then it doesn't, you know, it doesn't pull in too bad from the sides. And so as you can see, I don't know if you've used like a power vac or something, and the problem they have is they tend to pull too much stuff in from the sides, so you have to go so slow to keep it from making a big whirlpool behind your cleaner. And that was one of the reasons why I came up with this, and then with the optional drop side you can sort of control that flow from the sides. Right now we're directing it to the front, so it still will suck up pretty much everything. But then, you know, you can give a little lift if something's getting drug on the back flaps, you know, that kind of thing. So just get an idea of when you got bigger twigs and sticks, stuff, it just eats them up without too much trouble at all. So we're keeping our front open so we can get those up nicely. Alright, so I'm going to put the thruster ring back in and the drop sides in the front because I prefer the vacuuming with all of it together. Yeah, as long as you don't have any big rock to pull up, you should be fine. Alright, so we're all back ringed and sided. I normally keep mine, it sucks really nice to the side of the wall. You'll see you got good suction here. It takes a little bit of force to get it away and it sucks right back to it. So it climbs the wall nicely. But because they're rubber flaps, so they open up to accept debris. You know, you're still getting stuff into it. Let's see, did we get underneath that cleaner that's not working? Seems it got plugged with leaves. Now, if this pool had been working properly so that it didn't have dirt in the bottom of it, this would be a really quick, just picking out the leaves and worms and rocks. We'd have been done in a very short time. But as you can see, even when you're doing a full job, it's not too bad of a mission. Not the best skimmer, but if you ever have a fountain or something, and you want to set it up in a corner like that, it'll tend to pull stuff in on the outside pretty good. That dirt right there, just